you ever had your phone ring and you just knew you shouldn't answer? Not because you were busy, not because you didn't recognize the number, just that feeling like something about it was wrong. I used to ignore that instinct. Most of us do. We think it's just spam or a wrong number or nothing important. But after a few things that happened to me and a couple stories a friend shared with me, I don't answer unknown calls anymore. Not at night. Not when I'm alone. And definitely not when they keep calling back. Because sometimes it's not about who's calling. It's about how much they already know. These aren't just random horror stories. Some of this I experienced myself. Some of it came from people I trust, and the details line up a little too well to ignore. So yeah, if your phone rings while you're watching this, maybe let it go to voicemail. This first one actually happened to me. Or at least, I was there when it started. It was late, nothing unusual. Just sitting at home, phone next to me, not really doing anything important. Then it rang. Unknown number. I didn't think much of it. I get those all the time. So I ignored it. A few seconds later, it rang again. Same number. Okay. A little weird, but still. Could be anything. I ignored it again. Then it rang a third time. That's when it stopped feeling normal. Because spam doesn't call like that. Not back to back. Not that persistent. I remember just staring at the screen, thinking, all right, what do you want? And yeah, that's probably where I messed up. Because instead of blocking it, I answered. I didn't say anything at first, just listened. And for a second, there was nothing. No background noise, no breathing, just silence. And then a voice, calm, clear. It said my name. And that's when it hit me. This wasn't random, because I hadn't said a single word. I didn't respond right away. Just held the phone there, trying to process what I heard. Because yeah, you can explain a lot of things. Maybe someone I know. Maybe a prank. Maybe I forgot something. But none of that felt right, so I stayed quiet. And then it spoke again. Same calm voice. Not rushed. Not aggressive. Like it knew I was still there. It said something small. Something random. But specific. Something I had done earlier that day. My chest tightened immediately. Because that's not information you guess. That's not something you get from social media. It was too recent. Too exact. I remember looking around my apartment without even thinking. Kitchen. Living room. Door. Everything looked normal. Nothing out of place. And that's the part that messes with you. Because when nothing looks wrong, your brain tries even harder to explain it. But then it spoke again. And this time, it said something I hadn't told anyone. Not posted. Not mentioned. Just something I thought about earlier. And yeah, that's when I stopped trying to explain it. Because whatever was on that call wasn't just guessing. It knew. I finally spoke. I didn't plan to. It just came out. Who is this? My voice sounded off, even to me. Too quiet. Too controlled. Like I was trying not to make it real. There was a pause. Just a second. Then it answered. I can see you. My chest tightened instantly. Because that's the kind of thing people say as a joke. But this didn't feel like a joke. Not with that tone. Not with with everything before it. I looked around again, slower this time, really checking. Windows, corners, door, nothing. Everything exactly where it should be. And that's what makes it worse. Because when you don't see anything, you start wondering what you're missing. Then the voice spoke again, calm, almost bored. You're looking in the wrong place. I froze, didn't move, didn't speak. Because that sentence, that's not something you say randomly. That's something you say when you know they won't find you. And in that moment, I stopped checking the room because I realized if it could see me, it didn't need to be where I could. I told myself not to. Seriously. Everything in me said just hang up, end it, block the number. But I didn't. Because once something like that gets in your head, you need to prove it's not real. So yeah, I checked anyway. Slowly. Got up. Phone still to my ear. Walked toward the hallway. Every step felt louder than it should, like the whole place was listening. I stopped near the bedroom door, just stood there for a second, because that's where it felt wrong. Like if something was anywhere, it would be there. And I remember thinking, this is stupid. There's nothing there. So I opened the door. Quick. Lights off. Empty. Exactly how I left it. Bed. Closet. Window. Nothing moved. Nothing out of place. I actually felt relief for a second. Like, okay, this is just messed up, but explainable. Then the voice came back. Same calm tone. You're getting closer. My chest tightened instantly because I hadn't said anything. I hadn't told it where I was going. And in that moment, I realized something I didn't want to accept. It wasn't reacting to what I said. It was reacting to what I was doing. I froze in the doorway. Didn't step in. Didn't step back. Just stood there, phone still at my ear. Because now, it wasn't just talking. It was following me. Not physically, but somehow. And then it spoke again. Same calm voice. No rush. No emotion. Don't go in there. My chest tightened immediately. Because that wasn't a guess. That was specific. That was watching. I didn't answer. Didn't even breathe properly. Just listened. Then, after a short pause, it said something else. Quieter this time. Almost like it didn't need to try anymore. Turn around. I didn't. I couldn't. Because that's the moment where everything in you says, if you do that, you're going to see something you can't ignore. So I stayed facing the room, staring into the dark, trying to convince myself this was nothing. Then the voice came one last time, right into the phone. Clear. Close. You're not alone. My chest tightened hard, because that's when I realized something I hadn't before. If it needed me to turn around, it meant whatever was there was already behind me. I didn't turn. Not immediately. Because at that point, not seeing it still felt safer. But then, I heard it. Behind me, a sound. Soft. Not loud. Just enough to know it was real. Like something shifting its weight. My chest tightened instantly. Because apartments make noise, yeah. Pipes. Neighbors. Random stuff. But this wasn't that. This was close. Inside the room, right behind me. I held the phone tighter and didn't say anything. Didn't move. Just listened. Then, another sound. A step. Slow. Careful. that's the moment everything changed. Because now, it wasn't a voice on the phone anymore. It was something in the room with me. I finally spoke, without thinking. What do you want? There was a pause. Just a second. And then the voice answered. But not from the phone. From behind me. Same tone. Same calm voice. I'm already here. My chest tightened because the phone was still at my ear, and the line had gone completely silent. I didn't drop the phone. I didn't scream. Didn't run. I just stood there, trying to understand what just happened, because I heard it clear, right behind me, not through the speaker, not delayed, real, and at the same time, the phone was still at my ear, still connected. I slowly pulled it away, just enough to look at the screen. The call was still active. Same number, unknown. Timer still running. My chest tightened, because that means whatever spoke behind me was also still on the line. I brought the phone back up carefully, like that would change anything, and for a second, there was nothing again. Just silence. Then a sound, breathing from the phone, slow, steady, too close, like someone holding it right next to their mouth. And behind me, I felt it again, that presence, closer now, not touching, but right there, matching that same rhythm. My chest tightened, because now there was no separation anymore. No phone and room. It was the same thing. And in that moment, something became undeniable. I wasn't on a call anymore. I was connected to something that was already inside with me. I don't even remember deciding to do it. At some point, you just can't take it anymore. Not knowing is worse than seeing. So yeah, I turned around, slow, careful, like that would somehow make a difference. My chest was tight the whole time, because I already knew. Whatever I saw, there was no going back from it. I faced the hallway, looked into the darkness. Nothing. Empty. Exactly the same as before. And for a second, I actually felt relief. Like maybe I imagined it. Maybe the sound was nothing. Maybe the voice was just messing with me. Then, the phone, right next to my ear. The voice again. Calm. Close. You shouldn't have done that. My chest tightened instantly. Because the moment it said that, something changed. Not in front of me. Behind me. In the room I had just turned away from. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't need me to turn around to show itself. It needed me to look away from where it actually was. I turned back, fast this time. I didn't even think about it, because whatever was behind me was now in front. The room looked the same. At first, bed, closet, window. Nothing moved, nothing obvious, but something felt wrong. My chest tightened as I stepped in slightly, because the space felt occupied, like I wasn't alone anymore. Then I saw it, not clearly, not fully, just a shape, standing exactly where I had been a few seconds ago. Same position, same height, same stillness. My chest tightened hard, because I didn't see it appear. I didn't hear it move. It was just there, like it had always been there. Then, very slowly, it shifted. Just a small movement, weight changing, and my body reacted. A slight movement in my stance, unwanted, uncontrolled, perfectly matched. My chest tightened, because that means one thing. It wasn't copying me. It had already taken my place. And in that moment, something became undeniable. When I turned around, I didn't avoid it. I gave it the space it needed to stand where I was. I didn't step closer. Didn't try to understand it. Because at that point, there was nothing left to explain. I just stood there, staring, trying to keep track of where it was, trying not to move, because every movement felt like a mistake. Then, the phone, still in my hand, still on the call. The screen flickered slightly, and the audio changed. No more breathing, no more silence. There's just movement from the phone speaker. My chest tightened because I recognized the sound. It was my apartment, not like before, not what I was hearing in real time. Something else, a delay, like an echo. But ahead of me, I heard footsteps from the phone, then a voice, mine, clear, calm. Don't move. My chest tightened instantly because I didn't say that, not out loud, not in my head. And yet, it was my voice coming from the phone. Then, the sound shifted again, closer, more direct, like the phone wasn't just connected anymore, like it was showing something. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't calling me anymore. It was using my phone to control what happened next. I didn't move. Not after that. Because now, every movement felt like it wasn't mine anymore. The phone stayed in my hand. Screen still lit. Call still active. And then, my voice again. From the speaker. Calm. Controlled. Like it knew exactly what was coming. You're going to take a step back. My chest tightened instantly because I wasn't planning to. I wasn't even thinking about it. But the moment I heard it, my body reacted. A small shift. Heel moving slightly. I stopped myself. Forced it. Locked my stance. But it didn't matter because it spoke again. You're trying to stop. My chest tightened harder because that's exactly what I was doing, not guessing, not predicting. It was reacting in real time. Then, my voice again, quieter now, closer. You won't. And my body moved, a step back, uncontrolled, unwanted, perfect. My chest tightened because now it wasn't just ahead of me. It wasn't just watching. It was deciding. And in that moment, something became undeniable. I wasn't reacting to it anymore. I was following what it already knew I would do. That was the moment I broke. I didn't think about it anymore. Didn't try to understand it. I just hit end call. Hard. Like that would fix it. Like cutting the connection would stop whatever this was. The screen went dark. Call ended. Silence. My chest was tight. I'm breathing uneven, but for a second, everything felt normal again. No voice, no sound from the phone, just the room and me. I actually felt relief. Like, okay, that's it. It's over. Then, a sound behind me, soft, familiar. My chest tightened instantly because I knew that sound, a vibration. I looked down, slow, careful, and my stomach dropped. My phone was still in my hand, screen off, no call, no notification, nothing. But the sound was coming from somewhere else, behind me, on the bed, another phone, same model, same case, same everything, and it was ringing, unknown number. My chest tightened hard, because that's not possible. I only have one phone, and yet, there it was, that moment, something became undeniable. Ending the call didn't stop it. It just moved somewhere else inside my apartment. I didn't pick it up. Not right away. I just stood there, staring at it, because that alone didn't make sense. Same phone, same case, lying on my bed like it had always been there, still vibrating, still ringing. Unknown number. My chest was tight as I stepped closer, slow, careful, like getting near it would trigger something. The screen lit up again. I could see the call and something else, a contact name, not unknown anymore. It had changed. My number, saved, my name, exactly how I have it saved. My chest tightened instantly, because that means one thing. This phone knew me, not just my number, the way I labeled myself, something it shouldn't have access to. I reached out, stopped, then finally picked it up. The ringing stopped immediately. No delay, no missed call screen, just silence, like it was waiting for me to touch it. Then the screen changed, call connected, no number, no name, just a timer starting. And then my voice from the speaker, quiet, close. I'm right here. My chest tightened, because this time it didn't sound like it was on a call. It sounded like it was right next to the phone. And in that moment, something became undeniable. This wasn't another device. It was something that didn't need one to reach me anymore. I didn't pull the phone away, didn't drop it. I just held it there, staring at the screen, listening. Because now, it didn't feel like a call anymore. It felt like something in the room, close, too close. Then I noticed something, the reflection on the screen, faint, but clear enough. My hand, the room behind it, and something else. My chest tightened instantly because the reflection didn't match what I could see in front of me. It showed the space behind the phone, behind my hand, behind me. And there was a shape, standing there, still, same height, same outline, my outline. My chest tightened hard because I hadn't turned, I hadn't looked, and yet I could see it through the screen. Then the voice came again from the phone, soft, almost calm. Don't turn around. I froze, because that's the exact moment you want to. That instinct hits hard. But something told me, if I do that, it's over. The reflection shifted just slightly closer. And in that moment, something became undeniable. I didn't need to turn around to see it. It had already made sure I could. I didn't turn. I couldn't. Because at that point, the only thing worse than knowing it was there was actually seeing it. So I kept my eyes on the screen, on the reflection, because somehow that felt safer. My chest was tight, breathing uneven, hands starting to shake, but I didn't move. Then it moved. Not fast, not suddenly, just closer in the reflection. My chest tightened instantly because I didn't feel anything behind me. No footsteps, no sound, nothing. And yet, on the screen, it had taken a step forward, same posture, same shape, perfectly aligned with me. I forced myself to stay still, not react, not give it anything. Then it moved again, closer, now right behind me in the reflection, close enough that if I turned, we'd be face to face. My chest tightened hard, because now it wasn't just there. It was positioning itself waiting. Then the voice from the phone, calm, quiet. You're about to turn around. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't reacting to me anymore. It already knew what I was going to do before I did it. I tried not to. Seriously, I fought it. Focused on the screen, on the reflection, on anything that wasn't behind me. But the moment it said that, you're about to turn around, something in me shifted. Not panic, not fear. Something automatic. My chest tightened as my shoulders moved slightly. Unwanted, uncontrolled. I forced myself to stop, clenched my jaw, locked my stance. But it didn't matter. Because now, it wasn't just a thought. It was a movement already happening. Slow, gradual. Like my body was catching up to something that had already decided. The reflection showed it clearly. It didn't move. It just stood there, waiting. Because it knew. It didn't need to rush. I turned. Inches at first. Then more. And the moment I crossed that point, where I could see behind me, everything stopped. No one there. Nothing. Empty. My chest tightened. Because for a second, it felt like I won. Like I broke it. Like there was nothing there. And then, the phone. Still in my hand, my voice again, right next to my ear. You're too late. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't need to be behind me anymore. Because whatever it was already in front of me now. I didn't understand it at first. I was looking behind me. The space that should have had something in it. And there was nothing. Empty. Completely normal. And for a second, that almost felt worse. Because if it wasn't there, then where was it? My chest tightened as I slowly turned back toward the room, toward where I had been facing before. And that's when I saw it, standing there, exactly where I had been looking just seconds ago. Same spot, same height, same posture. Perfect. My chest tightened hard, because now there was no reflection, no delay, no screen. It was just there, in front of me, clear, real. Then it moved, just slightly. A small shift in weight, and my body reacted. A mirror movement, uncontrolled, unwanted, perfectly matched. My chest tightened, because that means one thing. It wasn't copying me. It had already taken the position I was in. And now I was the one trying to catch up. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't need to stay behind me. It just needed me to turn so it could take my place in front. I didn't move, didn't speak, because at that point, there was nothing left to do. It was standing there, in front of me, same face, same posture, same everything. And the worst part, it didn't look wrong, not distorted, not unnatural, just me. My chest was tight as I stood there, trying to understand what I was even looking at. Then it moved, slow, controlled, calm. It reached down toward the bed. My chest tightened instantly because I already knew what was there. The other phone, the one that had been ringing, the one that shouldn't exist. I'd picked it up the exact same way I would. Same grip, same movement. Perfect. Then it looked at the screen, tilted its head slightly, the way I do. My chest tightened, because now it wasn't just standing there, it was interacting. Then it brought the phone to its ear and said something, quiet, almost casual. Yeah, I found him. My chest tightened hard, because that means one thing. There was someone else on that call. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't the only one trying to reach me. I didn't move, didn't breathe properly, because after that, everything felt bigger. Not just one thing anymore, not just it. Something else was on that call, something listening. Then I heard it, not from the phone in its hand, from my phone, still in my hand. A second voice, low, distant, not clear enough to understand, but real. My chest tightened instantly, because now there were two sources, two connections, two sides of something I didn't understand. I slowly raised my phone closer to my ear, careful, like that would somehow change what I was hearing. And the voice became clearer, not mine, not human the way it should be, flat, controlled, like it wasn't used to speaking. Keep him there. My chest tightened hard, because that wasn't for me. That was about me. Then, the thing in front of me nodded slightly. Small movement, almost natural, like it understood, like it was responding. And then, it spoke again. My voice, clear, calm. He's not going anywhere. My chest tightened, because now, this wasn't random. This wasn't just something in my apartment. This was communication. And in that moment, something became undeniable. I wasn't the one being called. I was the one being kept on the line. I didn't touch anything, didn't press a button, didn't even think about ending it. Because at that point, I didn't feel like I had control over anything anymore. The phone in my hand, still connected, still playing that low, distant presence on the other side. Then it moved on the thing in front of me, calm, precise. I lowered the phone from its ear, looked at the screen. Same way I do. Same exact movement. My chest tightened because I knew what was about to happen, and I hadn't decided it. Then it tapped the screen, ended the call, and at the same time, my phone went silent. Call ended. No delay, no input from me, just cut. My chest tightened hard, because that means one thing. It wasn't just controlling its side, it controlled mine. Then it looked up at me for the first time, fully, directly. No reflection, no distance, just eye contact. And in that moment, something became undeniable. I didn't hang up. I didn't end anything it did. Because whatever this was, it decided when the connection was over. I didn't look away. I couldn't. Because once it locked onto me, it felt like moving would just make it worse. I stood there, completely still. Same face, same eyes, just watching. My chest was tight, breathing uneven, trying to hold on to something real. Then it spoke. Not loud, not aggressive, just normal. My voice. Again. You're trying to understand it. My chest tightened instantly, because that's exactly what I was doing, not saying it, not reacting, just thinking. And it said it out loud. Then another line, same tone, same calm delivery. You won't. My chest tightened harder, because now it wasn't reacting to my movement. It wasn't reacting to my voice. It was reacting to my thoughts. Then it tilted its head slightly, studying me the way I do, and said something that hit even worse. You already know what this is. I didn't answer. Didn't even know how, because part of me did. That feeling, that instinct, that something is very wrong and there's no fixing it. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't need me to speak anymore, because everything I was thinking, it could already hear. I didn't move, didn't respond, because at that point, doing nothing felt like the only thing I still controlled. It watched me for a second, then it spoke again. Same voice. Mine. Calm. Certain. Sit down. My chest tightened instantly, because that wasn't a suggestion. I wasn't asking. It was directing. I stayed where I was, forced it, didn't react, didn't give it anything. And then it repeated it. Slightly different tone. More certain. Sit. My chest tightened harder, because my legs shifted, just slightly. Unwanted. Uncontrolled. I stopped it, unlocked everything. But it didn't matter, because now it wasn't about whether I would move. It was about how long I could resist it. Then it stepped closer. Slow. Calm. No rush. Because it didn't need to. And said something quieter. Almost like it didn't need to try anymore. You don't need to stand anymore. And my body gave in. Just enough. A small movement, lowering slightly. My chest tightened. Because now it wasn't forcing me. It was removing the reason not to. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't controlling my body directly. It was controlling what I believed I needed to do. I didn't mean to. I really didn't. But my legs gave in just enough, and that was it. I sat down, slow, controlled, like it was my decision, even though it wasn't. My chest was tight as I looked up at it, still standing, exactly where I had been. Same posture, same height, same presence. The only difference, I wasn't there anymore. It was. My chest tightened hard, because that's the moment it becomes obvious. Not just something wrong, something replaced. It looked down at me, calm, almost satisfied. Then it adjusted slightly, shifted its stance, the way I do when I'm standing still for too long, and my body reacted again. A small adjustment in how I sat, matching it, unwanted, uncontrolled. My chest tightened, because even sitting, I wasn't fully in control then. It spoke, quiet, almost like it didn't need to explain anything anymore. This is better. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't need me standing anymore, because that was its position now. And I had already given it up. I didn't get up, didn't try to fight it anymore, because at that point, it wasn't about winning. It was about understanding what was happening. And I think I already did. I stood there for a second longer, looking at me. Then it just turned away, casual, like nothing was wrong, like everything was exactly how it should be. My chest tightened as it walked past me, not fast and not careful, just normal. Exactly the way I would move in my own place. It went into the kitchen. I heard it open something, cabinet, fridge. Normal sounds, everyday sounds. The kind you don't even think about, and that's what made it worse. Because this wasn't some creature. This wasn't chaos. It was routine. Then, water running. A glass placed down. A small pause. Then, footsteps again. Moving through the apartment. My apartment. My chest tightened. Because it wasn't exploring. It wasn't searching. It already knew where everything was. Then, it It came back into the room, phone in hand. My phone. Looked at the screen, typed something. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It wasn't just there to replace me. It was already starting to live as me. I didn't try to see what it was typing at first, because some part of me still hoped it wasn't real, that it would stop, that it would glitch, that something would break. But it didn't. It stood there, calm, focused on the screen, typing. My chest tightened as I watched its fingers move, same speed, same pauses, even the way it corrected itself, exactly how I do. Then it stopped, looked at the message, read it, like it was checking if it sounded right. Then it hit send. My chest tightened hard, because that's the moment it becomes real, not just inside the apartment, outside. Connection. People. Then my phone buzzed, not in its hand, in mine. A reply. Same chat, same contact. I didn't want to look, but I did. Slowly, carefully. And what I saw didn't make sense. The message it sent was something I would say. Exactly. Same tone, same words. Nothing strange, nothing off. And the reply was normal too, like nothing was wrong, like they were just talking to me. My chest tightened, because that means no one could tell the difference. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't need to pretend. It already knew me well enough to be me to everyone else. I didn't say anything. I didn't try to stop it, because at that point, there was nothing left to stop. I had finished typing, put the phone down, and looked around the room one more time. Not like it was checking, more like confirming. Then it walked to the door. Calm, natural, exactly how I would leave. My chest tightened as it reached for the handle, because some part of me still thought, it won't actually go, it can't. But it did. Opened the door, stepped outside, and before it left completely, it paused, just slightly, like it remembered something. And then it looked back, not fully, just enough, and said something quiet, almost casual. I'll take it from here. My chest tightened hard, because that wasn't for me. That was a statement. Then I stepped out. The door closed, and I heard the lock from the outside. Final. Clean. No hesitation. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't trap me inside. It just removed me from everything that was outside. I didn't move right away. Just sat there, staring at the door, because part of me still didn't believe it. Still thought, I can get up. I can walk out. This is still my place. My chest tightened as I slowly stood up, careful, like movement still mattered, like maybe I could take something back. I walked toward the door. Every step felt delayed, like my body wasn't fully catching up. I reached the handle, grabbed it. Cold, solid, real. I turned it. Nothing. I didn't move. My chest tightened harder, because I heard the lock. I knew it was locked. But still, it should open. This is my door. I tried again. Harder. Nothing. Didn't budge. Then I looked down at my hand, still on the handle, still turning. But something felt off, like there was no weight, no resistance, no feedback. My chest tightened, because that's when it hit me. I wasn't stuck inside, not like that. And in that moment, something became undeniable. The door wasn't locked for me. It just wasn't meant to open for whatever I was now. I didn't stay at the door because at that point, trying the same thing again felt pointless. So I stepped back, looked around the apartment. Everything's still there. Everything normal, except me. My chest was tight as I picked up my phone again, the one in my hand, the one that was still mine. At least, I thought it was. I opened messages, same chats, same people, same everything. I typed something. Simple. Are you there? Send it. Waited. A few seconds passed. Then, a reply. My chest tightened as I opened it, but it wasn't to my message. It was to something else. Something above it. A message I didn't send. From me. Same name. Same chat. Same everything. But not mine. I scrolled up. And there it was. The message it had sent earlier. Still there. Still active. And the person on the other side was replying to that. Not to me. Like my message didn't exist. Like it wasn't even visible. I typed again. Something else. Longer. More obvious. Sent it. Nothing. No reaction. No response. My chest tightened hard, because that's when it became clear. I wasn't just alone in the apartment. I was disconnected from everything outside it. And in that moment, something became undeniable. It didn't just replace me in the real world, it erased me from it. I didn't text again, there was no point. So I tried calling. Picked the first contact I saw. Hit call. Phone rang. Normal. Completely normal. My chest tightened as I listened to it, because for a second, it felt like maybe this still worked. Maybe I could still reach someone. Then they answered. Hey. My chest tightened instantly because they sounded normal, relaxed, like nothing was wrong. I spoke immediately. Can you hear me? No response. Just silence. Then they spoke again, but not to me. Yeah, I'm here. My chest tightened harder because that wasn't an answer. That was a reply to someone else. I looked at the screen. Still my call. Still connected. Still active. So I tried again. Louder this time. Hello? Nothing. No reaction. No pause. Then I heard it. Another voice. On the call. My voice. Clear. Calm. From the other side. Yeah, everything's fine. My chest tightened hard because that wasn't me. And yet they responded to it. Naturally. Like it was me. Talking to them. And in that moment, something became undeniable. I wasn't the one making the call. I was just listening to something else living my life in real time. I don't know how long I stayed there after that. Time didn't really matter anymore. Nothing did. Because once you realize you're not part of the world outside your own space, there's nothing left to fix. My chest still tightens when I think about it, not because of what I saw, but because of how normal everything looked from the outside. No panic, no signs, no one noticing anything wrong. Just me, living normally, talking, replying, moving on like nothing ever happened, except it wasn't me. And that's the part that stays with you. It didn't break in, it didn't force anything, it just called, waited. And once I answered, that was enough. So yeah, if your phone rings from an unknown number, especially late at night, just let it go. Don't answer. Don't check. Don't try to understand it. Because if it's something like this, it's not trying to reach you. It's is trying to replace you. And if you pick up, there's a chance you won't be the one who hangs up. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you probably get why I don't answer unknown calls anymore. And I'm actually curious, what would you do in that situation? Would you hang up? Or would you keep listening? Have you ever had a call that just felt wrong? Drop it in the comments. I read all of them. And if you're into these kinds of stories, real, modern, the kind that could actually happen, make sure you subscribe, because I've got more coming, and they only get worse. See you in the next one.